reaching quite a landmark figure today. We're going to be collaring our 185 elephants.
Wow.
That's our experience, so we're a very experienced team. And you might be asking yourself, why do we collar elephants? And I think that's a really important question. So when we put a collar on an elephant, we get a window into their life, which is a privilege beyond measure, because you can see how they're driven by food requirements, water requirements, and also the social landscape. That elephant starts telling us elephant stories that you would have never managed to cook up. Actually showing us, they're pushing the boundaries, and they're showing us how we can link protected areas across a much wider landscape and even across countries. What I love about these collars is you suddenly change an elephant into an intelligent agent. So it starts telling you where it's safe and unsafe, and they start avoiding the unsafe areas, or if they stay in the unsafe areas, they'll start moving at night when they know we're sleeping, and that's just incredible. So one of our first intelligent agents this morning is an elephant called General, and he's about 35 years old. Beautiful bull, lovely thick set tusks.
Big Mac, ready?
So Joel's going to explain now what's going to happen, and then him and Jerry are going to jump up into the helicopter and take it away, Joel.
So pretty much if it all goes to plan, what we'll try to do is get a good dart in, and it'll take anywhere sort of from 6 to 8 minutes for that elephant to show enough signs that he's sort of standing there, or he goes down on his own. Once he's sort of in that last phase of the immobilization, you can actually control him to the point where we can try and push him onto his side. We never want elephants to go down on their chest. We call it sternal recumbency, so if they go down on their chest and they're not lying on their side, because their lungs are attached to their body wall, unlike the other mammals, it means that they can't breathe properly because they can't expand that chest when it's like that. So once he's on his side, we put a little stick in his trunk to keep it open, because elephants are what we call sort of obligate nasal breathers, and it means that they breathe solely through their nose. So it's straight through the trunk, and they don't breathe through the mouth at all. So it's very important to keep that part of the trunk open. Once he's down on his side, we'll flip the ear over the eye, and that's just to take away the stimulation, because the drugs, they're not a general anesthetic like you'd use in people. It's more an immobilizing agent. So there's still a semblance of stimulus, and you want to take that away as much as possible. So we'll just use that ear. It covers the eye nicely. They're in sort of a dark environment, if you can explain it like that. And then we need a lot of people to get everything done as quickly as possible. There's a lot of sort of permitting regulations. We need guys from the reserves, the different reserves, because we're working in different areas.
Organized chaos.
Organized chaos, exactly.
Chaos.
So don't get afraid if you see a lot of people. Everyone's got their jobs. You'll see guys will be taking samples. We'll be doing a whole lot of things. Once we're happy we've got all our samples, we've got the new collar on, everything's sorted. What's the beauty of this immobilization drug is that we can wake them up within sort of 90 seconds to 2 minutes. So we'll inject the antidote, completely reverses them, and yeah, and then that will be pretty much how it should go.
Here goes the chopper, the yellow bumblebee.
The helicopter is essentially a really, really important tool in this entire operation, both to get close enough to the animal to actually dart it. And then obviously secondly, it's very important to actually get him to an area where we can work nicely with him. So we've got a massive ground crew that needs to get to where that animal is, so you want to try and get him down where it's nice and open. You know, sort of away from water and anything like that, and the helicopter is a great tool to do so that we can get them sort of into the areas we want to work with. It's nice and open, they're not falling down in horrible branches or in holes or whatever it may be. So pretty much if it all goes to plan, what we'll try to do is get a good dart in, and we'll take anywhere sort of from 6 to 8 minutes for that elephant to show enough signs that he's sort of standing there or he goes down on his own. Once he's sort of in that last phase of the immobilization, you can actually control him to the point where we can try and push him onto his side.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, you mean that we should have done it front, plate?
So we're just letting everyone work quickly. So as Joel was describing earlier, very important to keep the elephant breathing. So always pop a stick in the trunk. You can actually see how his breath is digging a hole. Absolutely amazing. Let's go have a look here. Come have a look what Joel's doing here quickly. So you can see.
So guys, we're just taking toenails, blood, everything pretty much as samples so that we have an opportunity. We've not done an elephant to put a collar on, but we might as well do as much as we can possibly do. So just take that. So just out of interest, while I've got you guys here, I noticed he was limping from the chopper. And if you take a look here, notice the wear on the bottom of this foot here. Okay, and then look at this foot here. And he's definitely favoring this back end over here. So it's quite an interesting one, but we can't see anything obvious.
You can see they're busy popping the collar on. So obviously, the longer an animal's down, the more risks there are. So the team is trying to work incredibly quickly. Robin, are you busy?
We're going to do the feces collection.
Oh, let's go for the smelly part.
Okay, so the feces itself is collected for a variety of reasons. We can analyze the elephant's stress levels using its corticoids in here. Then we can also look at DNA from the elephant. And then you can also break down what it's actually eating. So you can see right now it's still got a very grassy diet, but it will start changing as we move, as it starts eating more twigs and branches and bark and things like that. So there's a whole different type of analyses we can do from collecting the feces here. So what we did of it earlier is we plucked some of the tail hairs from the elephant. We take 3 hairs per elephant, and that's allowing us to look at the DNA of the elephant. We can also look at isotopic analysis, so what the elephant's been eating over the seasonal change. It helps us to understand how the elephant's diets are changing in the different environments and how different seasonal changes, and especially when we start looking at climate change, how their diets change when seasons change, especially over a long term, because this is now giving us a temporal scale, a very long-term scale of what the elephant's been eating, and as the climate changes, how its diet may change over time.
Yeah, sorry guys, so this one's a bit of a bloody affair. We're just taking a little tissue sample here from the ear. And this is just an antibiotic wound spray that Rowan's got here that we're just going to spray on there.
Stings a little.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to hold a little bit of pressure so that the bleeding stops. And take this here. Yeah, so guys, this is essentially, this is pretty much perfect. Where he's dropped here, it's a massive open area. This is exactly how we want him to go down. He's down on his side. We've got the stick in his trunk. We're very happy and comfortable that he's very stable in this sort of position, and we're happy to keep him down for a period of time now. Okay, now inject slowly, just a little bit, and if it goes easily, okay, go.
There we go, the ears are starting to flap. He said that it's amazing how much the narcotics have improved over the last 50 or 60 years, that you can wake up an animal as big as an elephant in under 3 minutes. So, Michelle, happy days?
Very happy, very successful day. So fantastic that we've replaced these collars. Thank you to everybody that sponsored us. We really, really appreciate the support and also your interest watching this collaring operation.
From our side, thank you very much to everyone that's contributed and got involved. Thank you for making a plan with everything. Lovely working with this amazing team. It's always an honour. So, but yeah,
Very, very
thank you very
exciting.
much.
Thank you, everybody. Wow, what a day.
And there's someone we forgot to thank. You guys, of course. Thank you so much for being part of this.
Racking my brain.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
And we can't wait to do this again with you sometime in the near future. So I think on 3 elephants alive.
Yep.
Sounds good. He's counting.
1, 2, 3. Elephants alive!
Cool. Thank you.
There we go.
Be ready in case you have to drive around the corner to the chopper.